Welcome back to another video, Red Devil fans, on Always United, where we cover all the latest Man United news for you guys. Today we've got massive updates in regards to several players and also Manchester United transfers. We'll be touching on the latest regarding Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford, and in terms of transfers, we'll be discussing the recent updates for Rasmus Højlund and Kolo Muani. It's a jam-packed video filled with exciting news, so stick with me until the end. So right at the gate, I want to touch on Bruno Fernandes. As you guys already know, the topic of Manchester United's next captain has been up for discussion for a while, and a couple of days ago Erik ten Hag had a discussion with Maguire, and basically he's no longer Manchester United's captain, which definitely led to the players' comments discussing a feeling of disappointment. As a result, the main player now set to be the next captain for Manchester United is Bruno Fernandes, who has been extremely loyal to the club. The player has had offers from Saudi Arabia, but his priority is currently Manchester United, and it has always been Manchester United. He's rumored to be announced as the new captain of the club very soon. But speaking of Harry Maguire, now that he's no longer Manchester United's main captain, and we have talked about how the player is on the brink of a departure from the club, a lot of clubs have been linked to the player, including West Ham. Now, according to The Guardian, Man United has turned down a loan deal for Maguire from West Ham. We covered in a previous video how Maguire might fit in West Ham, but as things stand, Manchester United has turned down a loan deal for the player. Another recent update regarding Maguire is the rumor that Chelsea might want Harry Maguire after Fofana injury. Other reports have also suggested that Harry Maguire has told the club that provided that he receives £20 million, he is willing to depart from the club for good. Wayne Rooney has also stated that Maguire should leave Manchester United since clearly he's not part of Ten Hag's plan, and changing the captain of the team is a clear demonstration of that. Now, before we move on, if you want Maguire to leave Manchester United, smash that like button. Also consider subscribing to Always United for latest Manchester United news. Now, moving on, another player that has been rumored to depart Man United after the addition of Mason Mount is Fred. According to many sources, Manchester United has turned down Galatasaray offer for Fred, and the reason why was that the price offered by Galatasaray was simply not enough. The next piece of news that we're going to talk about is absolutely incredible. 5 more years, guys. You're hearing it right. Marcus Rashford has signed a new 5-year contract with Manchester United after a stunning last season with his boyhood club, which means that he's going to stay at Man United at least until 2028. I believe this is a massive win for the club. So many statements have been released about the extension of the player's contract, which I'm going to read to you in a moment. This is what the player said, and I quote, "I joined Manchester United as a 7-year-old boy with a dream. That same passion, pride, and determination to succeed still drives me every time I have the honor of wearing the shirt." In addition, here's what Rashford told United's official website. "I've already had some amazing experiences at this incredible club, but there is still a lot more to achieve, and I remain relentlessly determined to win more trophies in the years ahead. As a United fan all my life, I know the responsibility that comes with representing this badge and feel the highs and lows as much as anyone. I can assure you that I will give you everything to help the team reach the level we're capable of, and I feel the same determination around the dressing room. I couldn't be more excited for the future under Erik ten Hag." Several top clubs across Europe, including Paris Saint-Germain, were keen on signing and had reportedly even offered more lucrative deals for United, according to Athletic, for instance. However, Rashford has committed his future to United after his best ever season with Erik ten Hag. John Murtaugh, United's director of football, expressed his satisfaction at Rashford renewing his contract. He said, and I quote, "Ever since he joined our academy 18 years ago, Marcus has epitomized what it takes to succeed as a Manchester United player. He's a brilliant talent, but also humble, dedicated, and driven. As he enters his prime years, we know there is still so much more to come from him, and we can see the hunger that Marcus feels to achieve the highest levels of success here at Manchester United. Working with Erik ten Hag and his coaches is the perfect environment for Marcus to continue to develop into one of the best attacking players in the world." Now, as a Manchester United fan, I'm so thrilled that we're going to see Marcus Rashford again with Manchester United kid until 2028, but regardless, I'm dying to know what you guys think about this development. Next up, we have to talk about Edwin van der Sar. Former Manchester United and Netherlands goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar has provided a positive update on his health after going into hospital. Now, if you're not already aware of what has happened, van der Sar was rushed to hospital while on holiday in Croatia earlier this month after suffering a brain hemorrhage. He was later admitted to intensive care with bleeding around his brain, as the football world united in sending messages of support to the 52-year-old. Now, after being moved to a Dutch hospital and regaining consciousness, the former United and Ajax star is now out of the intensive care, but is still being monitored by medical staff. Van der Sar will now be given time to recover before heading to his home in Amsterdam. Posting alongside a picture with his wife on Instagram, Van der Sar said, and I quote, "First of all, we want to thank everyone for all the great and supportive messages. I'm happy to share that I'm no longer in the intensive care unit. However, I'm still in hospital. I hope to go home next week and take the next step in my recovery. You can't imagine how happy I am to see Edwin van der Sar regaining his health. I'm also curious to know what you guys think about this matter. Definitely share your thoughts and your love with us about Edwin van der Sar. Next up, let's talk about the latest concerning Mason Greenwood, a player who's likely to depart Man United on a loan deal. Another indication of the fact that he won't be a Manchester United player this season is how he has gotten left out of Manchester United tour of United States, as club's internal investigation into the striker still continues. So yeah, if you were wondering whether the player will be going on Manchester United preseason tour of the United States, I'm afraid to tell you that he will not. Greenwood is still officially a member of United's squad though, and appeared on the club's retain list for the coming season a few weeks ago. When it comes to a move for Greenwood, according to The Athletic for instance, United are considering a loan move for the striker, and his name was discussed with Atalanta. Greenwood was also linked with clubs such as Juventus, Rome and AC Milan, but we have not received an update lately regarding a transfer move. I think it's needless to say that United fly out to the United States this week for a 2-week tour in which we play Arsenal in New Jersey, Wrexham in San Diego, Real Madrid in Houston and Borussia Dortmund in Las Vegas. Tell us how you feel about Greenwood not being a part of the preseason tour and if you're on board with selling the player. Now, of course, I saved the biggest piece of news for last. Let's talk about the biggest piece of news that has been discussed in the last couple of days, and obviously it involves Rasmus Højlund. After a slow start at the summer transfer window, it seems that things are picking up for Manchester United and different pieces of the puzzle are falling into their rightful spots. After signing Mason Mount and Andre Onana, it seems that personal terms have been agreed with Rasmus Højlund, and Manchester United reportedly are ready to launch an opening transfer bid for the Atalanta striker. Many sources have run the same story. The most reliable one is arguably Fabrizio Romano and of course The Athletic. But for instance, Romano also stated that the Red Devils are ready to launch their first official bid for Højlund after they agreed on personal terms with the Danish international. Erik ten Hag has made it crystal clear that he wants a striker to pair up with Marcus Rashford, and the Premier League giants have zeroed in on Højlund. United have been in talks with the Serie A outfit and had previously offered cash plus players, reported to be Fred and Donny van de Beek, but the option was rejected out of hand by Atalanta. They have set a minimum price tag of 70 million euros for Højlund and want the entire payment to be in cash. This transfer begs the question if Højlund is truly worth 70 million euros though. I've said many times that he shouldn't be compared with Erling Haaland. Højlund is still raw and lacks the experience factor that sets apart Haaland, and considering the transfer budget for this season, 70 million euros is a lot, but I think both clubs have left room to compromise, which is why that yesterday reports surfaced online as to how Manchester United is pursuing Kolo Muani at the same time. In addition, what has made a lot of Manchester United fans surprised and thrilled is how Manchester United has a backup plan with Kolo Muani in case a deal for Rasmus Højlund does not happen. It is surprising though, since in the last few years, Manchester United heads and team of negotiations have never done this. To have multiple targets at the same time, it is somehow unprecedented for Manchester United. But as a fan, obviously, I'm happy to hear official reports from ESPN regarding Manchester United and Kolo Muani. Speaking of ESPN, they've reported that Manchester United have shifted part of their attention to Eintracht Frankfurt striker Randal Kolo Muani as they seek to bolster their attacking options. The move comes amid reservations about the valuation set by Atalanta for Rasmus Højlund, a primary target for United. The club recently completed the signing of goalkeeper Andre Onana from Inter Milan. The Red Devils have already reportedly come to agreements with the striker. However, negotiations with Atalanta are expected to continue very soon. So it seems that Manchester United might be using Kolo Muani news as a means to an end to potentially lower the price for Rasmus Højlund. It is smart decision making on Manchester United behalf, personally speaking. It is fascinating to me considering all the takeover news that we have had. This summer transfer window of all the summer transfer windows is shaping up to be one of the best ones in recent memory, since Erik ten Hag is about to get all the players he initially asked for. Granted, he wanted Harry Kane at first, but after everything that went down with Tottenham, ten Hag settled for Højlund. The next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be crucial when it comes to Højlund. At the same time, what is reassuring is that according to Romano, the player himself has been a United fan for the longest time, which boosts Manchester United's chance of eventually coming to an agreement with Atalanta for the player. Regardless, we'll be covering all the latest updates when they surface online. but until then, share your thoughts with us on Manchester United's summer transfer window so far. What do you make of the team's performance? I think it has surpassed my expectations so far, and if we can sell some of the players such as Fred and Harry Maguire in the coming weeks, then I would call this transfer window one of the best ones we have ever had. At the same time, I'm dying to know your thoughts on the matter. Guys, consider subscribing to Always United for the latest Manchester United news. Leave a like if you found this video informative, and thank you so much for sticking with me until the end of this video. If you're interested to hear more Manchester United news, here are 2 videos, but until next time, it's been a pleasure serving you guys.